What's going on, guys? I'm Zulushi, and today I'm back with another Fortnite tips video. You might have noticed the background change. I just got a green screen and I'm testing it out, so you guys get to deal with the Fortnite background. So a while back, I made a video on 5 building techniques you need to learn in Fortnite. The video did well, and you guys seem to really enjoy it, so here we are with some more building techniques updated for Chapter 3. The top comment on the old video was, alternate title, how to lose all of your materials in a real game, and this comment isn't wrong. The time for super flashy retakes and techniques has passed, and isn't as relevant anymore, especially with the spray meta in Chapter 3. With this in mind, I'm going to show you some of my favorite building techniques that are material efficient and actually effective in real games. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the Clix Ramp, this building technique is super easy to learn and extremely useful in game. Basically, whenever you're ramp rushing an opponent, you should use the Clix Ramp to get height at the beginning of the fight. Here's the technique in slow motion, and I'll break it down for you. Here we go. So you extend 2 ramps, and as you reach the top of the first ramp, you look down and place a floor and ramp, then jump onto the next ramp and place another floor and ramp. Then repeat the process. You should be able to get a hang of this technique after a couple minutes of practice because it's pretty simple. Once you do, you should incorporate it into your gameplay and use it almost every time you're ramping towards an opponent and trying to get height. You can see that I'm comparing the Clix Ramp to good old regular ramp rushing. In about the same time, the normal ramp rush made it up 10 layers and the Clix Ramp made it up 17. When I'm playing realistic 1v1s, I get height almost every single time unless my opponent cranks infinite 90s. Most players will just ramp towards you while doing double or triple edits, which doesn't end up being any faster than a normal ramp rush. You should be able to beat them to height almost every single time with the Clix Ramp. If you don't know this move, it's time to learn it so you can start taking high ground at the beginning of your fights. Now let's get into the next technique. This has to be one of the most versatile defensive retakes. I'm talking about the Thwifo Cone. This move's also pretty simple, but I'll break it down for you guys anyways. While ramping up, jump, turn, and turbo build walls behind you, then place a cone on top of those walls and repeat the process. Like I said, this move is versatile and can be used in many ways. You could do a protected side jump, you could edit through the top and combo that with another move, or you could do something like this. It's really up to you, there's a ton of different possible moves. This move is very protected and it makes it hard for your opponent to hit you. In this clip I use the Thwifo Cone to get height and my opponent doesn't manage to deal any damage or knock me out. In this clip I use the Thwifo Cone to build up, then I use the wall I placed to go on the offensive and piece up the opponent and eliminate him. The Thwifo Cone is an extremely effective technique that you should really practice if you're not using it already. On to the next technique, and that is side jumps. So most people know how to do a basic side jump, but the move is somewhat predictable and it leaves you open to taking damage. Pay attention right here, as this is how you should do a side jump. As I play it back in slow motion, notice how I only edit 1 tile on the floor, place 2 walls, then do the side jump, and then throw in a Thwifo Cone for added protection. This side jump is effective because it's protected and your opponent has to break 3 structures in order to knock you down. A common mistake is editing 2 tiles on the floor before you side jump, resulting in you only being held up by 2 pieces. You also have to remember to place the far wall before you side jump, otherwise you'll be held up by 1 less structure. It's important to make sure that your builds are reinforced because in a real game, kids will just spray you out, especially if you're only being held up by 1 build. This means it's time to stop doing those weak and unprotected side jumps and start doing the reinforced ones I showed you. Moving on to the last technique, high walls. Simply put, high walls are walls that you place above the layer that you're currently on. There's a ton of different ways to use high walls, but I'll show you guys some good examples. You can see the high walls right here. High walls are one of the best ways to block off your opponent and get easy piece control. They work so well because your opponent expects the wall to be theirs, and you can often catch them off guard with a sneaky shot or edit. They're also good for protection and make it more difficult for your opponent to get a shot off. In the next 2 clips, you'll see me use high walls to catch my opponent completely off guard and get some easy elims. You see how this guy's lost and is trying to build a wall? Well, he can't, because my high wall's already there. Good night, son. Or in this clip, where I build up and use a high wall to completely box this kid. In my opinion, high walls are an essential part of piece control. That means it's important you learn how to use them now so you can keep up with the meta. So, here's a quick list of techniques that you should practice while free building in creative. The Clix Ramp, Thwifo Cones, protected side jumps, and high walls. Obviously, there's other things that you should practice, but if you incorporate these 4 techniques into your gameplay, I guarantee that you will become a better player. If you learned something new, go into creative right now and practice it. Alright everyone, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If any of these tips helped you out, like the video, consider subscribing, and use code ZULUSHI in the item shop to support me. One more thing I thought I'd mention, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 3 p.m. PST over on Twitch. Anybody's welcome to drop by and hang out. See you guys in the next one.